I'm going to give you some names and some dates, and you're going to have to look some of this up yourself. I'm addressing our beloved audience out there now, no homo. You're going to have to look up some of them themselves, because unfortunately, if I go into great detail, we will get YouTubed. They will not like what I have to say, but the facts are the facts. And you cannot get around the facts. That's the problem with facts. They're pernicious little bastards like that. And they don't really care what your feelings or ideology are.
That's right.
All of this that we're facing now starts in the year 1897, when a man named Theodore Herzl writes a particular book about a particular group of people who want to be in control and not be questioned about it.
Power.
His name is, yes.
Yeah.
His name is Theodore Herzl, Herzl. Hertzl? I know it's ZL. Can't remember the exact spelling right now. I probably should have written it down, but I've been working on this particular bit of material I've been working on for years and years. So other people in his same group start to notice what he's written, and they start to take it seriously. Then in Western Citizen, I can neither confirm nor deny that. Right around 1913, a kid in Ukraine named Lev Bronstein tries to start a revolution in Russia. That doesn't go anywhere. So he goes abroad, goes to London, finds his way to New York, where a group of guys finance him. A bunch of bankers finances, literally bankers. I'm not just dancing around a subject here. These guys were literally bankers. Financed this young Ukrainian named Lev Bronstein and send him to Russia to start a revolution, to start a communist revolution. You know Lev Bronstein better by the name Leon Trotsky,
who got picked.
He got the Mexico special, yeah. Ice picked in a bar in Mexico.
He got picked.
Yeah. Leon Trotsky's real name is Lev Bronstein. In the process of this revolution, everything that you see today, from the people that you cannot insult or hurt the feelings of on pain of law, to DEI, which is actually a Bolshevik program from 1923.
Bolsheviks. Drink.
I like that one. That's just funny.
All right. We should just call this show like Drunken History or something.
Drunken History. This is the Drunken History episode.
Yeah.
So Lev Bronstein succeeds, obviously, and we end up with Lenin, and then we end up with Stalin, and Stalin kills a bunch of motherfuckers because he doesn't like them. But in the process, these guys kill close to 100 million people by starving them to death, by shutting down farming. Ooh, shutting down farming. Where have we seen that?
Yeah, where have you seen that?
Family farms going the way of the dodo in the United States? That's odd. What a strange coincidence. Control of the education system in Soviet Russia. That's odd. Control of the education system. Forcible education in things like strange homosexuality.
Huh.
Well, that's weird. Why are we seeing that kind of thing now?
It's kind of like before World War II, a bunch of those books and material was burned.
In the Weimar, yeah. That whole university there was burned, and that's the only recorded book burning done by those guys who like to wear Hugo Boss suits.
Yes.
Odd. And these are, you can look all of this stuff up. It's
total coinkydink.
Total coinkydink. So, right around that time, a school starts in Germany called the Frankfurt School. And a lot of people have heard of the Frankfurt School, and they get the general idea. And then in 1932, an Austrian artist gets a wild hair up his ass. A bunch of people thinks he has some good ideas. He writes some stories while he's in prison, writes a book, gets everybody bent out of shape, and then they elect him Chancellor of Germany, and all hell breaks loose. Well,
What could
that
go wrong?
What?
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Now, the chat is I have to actually set the chat down because out of the corner of my eye I can see some of them and they're funny as fuck. So I have to remove that distraction. Usually I keep an eye on at least one of the chats so that if somebody says something particularly relevant to the subject, I will drag it in. But you guys are on fire and a little too funny tonight, so I have to remove that temptation from my site. So this Frankfurt School kicks in, and during that time, a guy named Herbert Marcuse turns up. This guy is.
Go back a few.
Let's see here. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Start over because you kind of skipped out a little bit.
I skipped out. Where did I skip out?
About 10 seconds back. You skipped out.
10 seconds back. That's weird. I told you I've been having some interference here. I've been having a little bit of lag and everything. So, there goes the thunderstorm too. So,
Nice.
At any rate, while all of that's going on in Russia, there is a huge Marxist uprising in Germany alongside of the rise of the Austrian artist. The Austrian artist ends up winning, and all of these Marxists with their Frankfurt School. Well, most of you have heard of the Frankfurt School. How is that? Did you guys hear that the first time I said it?
Yes.
Or no?
Yeah,
okay.
We heard about the Frankfurt School. So those people went up in smoke, you say?
They did not.
Oh, they did not.
They did not go up in smoke. One of the big ones is Herbert Marcuse, who was born in 1898 in Berlin into a wealthy family of a particular group that was no longer welcome in the country. And most of these Frankfurt people were of a particular group and of wealthy families. They're spoiled rich kids.
Would this particular group belong to individuals who wear the small hats?
No. Yeah. What? Yeah. What? What?
Yeah. I forget it. All right. Just asking.
Yeah.
All right, continue on.
Possible. It's possible.
It's possible.
Look, it is what it is. Go back, look at the Frankfurt School from the 1920s and 1930s. Okay.
Yeah. And let's
it just is what it is.
All right. Again, we're talking about shit that already took place.
Yes. Right. We're talking about actions and activities too.
Yeah. That took place. It's been recorded. Who did what to where.
Yes.
And we're just talking about it right now.
Yep.
We're not putting any negative spin towards any particular group. We're just telling you the truth. That's what you get here at Redonkulous. All right.
Yep. So this guy, Herbert Marcuse, and a bunch of the other ones, they flee Germany. And in 1933, he turns up first, or in 1932, he turns up first in Geneva. And then he turns up in New York at Columbia University, where a bunch of the others have already gathered together. They start the Institute for Social Research, which is just a renaming of the Frankfurt School so that people wouldn't know. Never mind that it's the same cast of characters. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Changing the names of stuff doesn't really change the meaning. It's not like we haven't seen that.
Where have we seen that before, though?
Yeah.
It's like St. Petersburg, Stalingrad.
Well, I'm just talking like the past 15 years, too.
Removing pieces of history entirely.
Correct.
Melting down statues, that kind of thing.
Changing definitions of words. Yeah.
Changing definitions of words. Radically changing definitions of words.
Correct. And there you go. It's literally, there's nothing new under the sun. What's happening today has already happened multiple times in the past. The thing is with the deep state, every time it happened, it would feed off of itself and move on to a more powerful, more nefarious, method. And they've been doing this for a century.
Here's where shit gets creepy. Herbert Marcuse and another man named Max Horkheimer both decide that they're going to take Marxism, which is already lots of fun, and merge that with Sigmund Freud's work.
Oh.
So now all of your, oh, poor me, little rich boy, I don't have anything, I need everything you have, I'm going to take all of your stuff, and you're going to do all the work, and I'm going to do nothing, but we'll split everything equally because that's equal. That's basically the Marxist ideology in a nutshell. Everybody gets the same share of everything, even though not everybody does the same amount of work. That's why Marxism fails every single time. That's what happened in Russia.
And it fails because we're evil, hairless monkeys.
Yes.
And we always think we're better than the guy next to us, and we deserve this, we deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's why
fair share. Yeah.
Capitalism will always win out over communism.
Get this. Capitalism is actually neurosynaptic programming, and it comes from Marx's writings. Das Kapital, one of Marx's first books, well, most famous books. That's where the word capitalism comes from. What you're talking about is actually just commerce, and every culture has always had commerce. Marx needed a bad guy, so he created capitalism and painted commerce as the enemy. Because in Marxism, a guy who does well in commerce and is successful and amasses wealth to himself is the bad guy, because he doesn't share it with Karl, because poor Karl has already spent his wife's entire inheritance. Oh, true story. You didn't know about that? Did you know he fucked the maid? Did you know he had an illegitimate son with the maid? Did you know that Karl Marx didn't like to bathe and was covered in fucking sores? Yeah.
Nice.
I could go on and on, but this isn't about Marx.
But
we're still talking about the man Herbert Marcuse.
But here's the thing is about capitalism. Capitalism, you're depending upon greed.
Yes.
Communism, you have to depend on everyone being virtuous and good. Which one do you think is going to happen?
Well, it is an absolute pipe dream. Communism and Marxism both are complete and utter pipe dreams.
Yes.
It's nonsense. It is inherently nonsense, but because it requires all people to have equal intelligence, equal self-control, equal discipline, equal willpower, equal virtue. And we all know that none of these things are true.
It's not going to happen.
There just isn't such a thing.
Well,
You're
when you
out
come
of your
across,
mind.
well, when you come across a guy who checks all those blocks, they nail him to a cross.
Yes, that is correct. Yep.
There you go. I don't know about you, but I really am not looking forward to getting nailed to a cross.
I'm not trying to get nailed to a cross. I have no delusions of wanting to be nailed to a cross.
Oh, here we go.
So here's our man, Herbert Marcuse, and you can see I've spent some time doing this. Now, Herbert Marcuse arrives in New York and goes to Columbia University, and this is where the real fun begins, because he and all of his buddies, let's take a look at his buddies. Let's go over here. Let's follow this line over here. This looks fun.
Right,
here's the Frankfurt School.
If anyone out there is interested in this flow chart, just send us an email to redonkulous12gmail.com and we'll send it to you. Okay? No problem.
Now, this is the actual mapping program that I use to do all this. You can see I can go, ooh, look at that there. And I can add pieces and subtract pieces and put notes into everything too. Mind mapping tools like this are incredibly handy. And thanks to AI, I have learned how to tell AI to write the correct XML script. And now I don't have to spend hours and hours making do this in like 20 minutes.
Nice.
So we have the Frankfurt School down here, and you'll see names like Max Horkheimer and Eric Fromm, and your brain is going, I've heard those names before. Why have I heard those names? I'm getting to that. Theodore Arno, Frederick Pollack, Edward Shills, He went to the university. He ended up going to the University of Chicago. Frederick Pollock and Max Horkheimer created the Frankfurt School. They were economic theorists. Over here we have Mr. Paul Lazarsfeld. He went to Columbia University. He was joining Marcuse at Columbia University there. Franz Neumann, Columbia Frankfurt School. Oh, you see those first three letters there? Can you see those first three letters there under Franz Neumann? What's that?
The first three letters.
S.
Oh.
Right here. OSS. See that? What's the OSS, Pop?
They were the people before the CIA.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the precursor to Christians in Action.
They're the old school spooky guys.
Yeah. These are the real serious old school spooky guys. Leo Lowenthal, Theodor Arno, Otto Kirchner. These are all Frankfurt School. Oh, look at over here. Oh, look at this. What's he doing there?
One.
He's in the OSS as well. That's odd. Things are getting strange. Things are getting strange here.
And what year was
Herbert argued this between the 30s and the 50s. Okay. These guys operated the Frankfurt School, which means it's Otto Kirchner here in 1940s, Frankfurt School and the OSS. Why, that's a European Marxist school, and all of these guys are working at the OSS. What's going on? What's going on here? That's exactly what's happening.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.